Hello and welcome to Constellation Conference Chit Chats. I'm Linda Comeau and today I have with me Sara and her workshop for the 2015 North American Systemic Constellations Conference coming up is Skills to Navigate Constellations in Full Awareness, and that will be held on Friday, November 13th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Welcome, Sara.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Yeah.
Great. I'm so excited to see you again. And I'm dying to hear about your talk. But I also want to ask you, because you have a very unusual way you combine constellations with horses. So maybe let's take an opportunity to talk a little bit about your business.
Okay, so I have a business called Silver Horse Retreat, and I have 8 horses. They're all rescues from all kinds of backgrounds, Premarins, I don't know, rancher horses. Basically they were all unwanted, and I acquired them over the period of 10 years or 11, 12 years, I think. My oldest horse is 32. He's called Silver, and he's the director of Silver Horse Retreat. So how I built my business, the equine business, is around combining my skills with their skills. So what can my horses do? You know, what are they good at? What do they like to do? And what am I good at? What I like to do, you know? So I ended up combining constellation work with them and how that looks is that we do it outside in the round pen, and they basically show up as representatives. And I go, well, now. And it's been really powerful work, and I really enjoy it. They enjoy it. It's not a lot to ask from them. They have a choice. They can, do whatever they want. They're never told what to do. They're not on ropes. They're not bribed, but they participate and they push. I noticed lately they really push you in the direction of where they want you to go. And it's usually like hugging someone or coming together with someone. It's pretty, and go ahead.
Whereabouts is your ranch?
Oh yeah, so I'm in Southern California. It's a place called Warner Springs. We're quite remote. It's absolutely beautiful out here. It's very tranquil. There's you don't see one neighbor, one building. You've got a view. We have 360-degree view. We have mountains behind us. I mean, it's fantastic. It's really great here. Yeah.
And you do weekend workshops?
I do weekend workshops. I do shamanic retreats. I do mentorships. I do therapeutic work with people, like people who are really going through a crisis. That's kind of like my typical client. Someone who's having a really hard time, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. They come with me, spend 4 days or a week or something with me, and they don't leave. They come here, they stay here. We work in the morning, we work in the afternoon. I feed them really good food, and I've gotten really good results. I like this way of working. It's because the work needs to get integrated, and I don't like to do fast appointments and then they leave and get on the freeway. I like it when they can hang out and we take our time like that. It's good.
Cool. Well, now that leads us into telling us about your workshop, Skills to Navigate Constellations in Full Awareness.
Okay, so I wanted to bring something to the conference that would be useful, to other practitioners, whether they're facilitating constellations or other kind of working groups. And basically what I found was that it's really important to have rapport with your client and with the group, And I have a background in the polarity healing arts, and that was one of the things that I learned that was extremely valuable. And that was my entryway into horses, establishing a rapport. I didn't have any horsey background, but I used those skills to connect with horses that were really traumatized, didn't trust people, so on and so forth. And it worked. So I, out of that, I started a program called Rapport with Horses, and it's basically a process with a person in the round pen with a horse. And supporting them and having rapport with the horse. So not only do I do that, it's like integrated in everything I do, you know. And I noticed in the constellation world that a lot of people didn't have that skill, and they were missing the client in some way or not meeting them, you know. So there's very simple exercises to do where you can establish the rapport, and it's a feeling, you know. It opens the way to empathy, and also in that is teaching neutrality, right? So neutrality in the sense that the facilitator is not invested in the outcome, you know. And I noticed that too, that I saw that with some of the work I experienced, that the facilitator was invested in the outcome. They wanted it to be a certain way, kind of like a happy ending or whatever they felt was best. But we don't know, right? We don't know as the facilitator or the healer or whatever you want to call this, we don't know what the best is for them. We don't want to assume that. So the best way is to have neutrality, you know. So there's a level of detachment, but at the same time, there's a connection and empathy. So how do you balance that? So that's what I'm teaching. That's the full awareness. Navigating with full awareness is being aware of everything. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing in that workshop is witnessing. It's really important to be able to witness in a way that's neutral as well, where you're not trying to fix someone, you're not trying to give advice, you know. So, and as healers and people in the healing arts, you know, we have the rescue archetype, or that archetype that wants to save or rescue, or, you know, because we wouldn't be doing this work otherwise, you know. But it's like using the sense of, you know, allowing what unfolds to unfold, you know, without our own personal agenda or so on and so forth. So basically that's what I'm going to be doing. And the exercises are really simple and they're really powerful. And I learned some of these exercises in the school that I was in. I actually had consultations with my teacher, and he helped me put this program together. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
Excellent.
His name is Gary Strauss. He's a master of what he does. He's excellent. So yeah, I did like 3 sessions with him on the phone, and he helped me shape it and put this thing together. So I'm excited to do it. It's the first time I'm going to do it. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Helping us constellators out with new skills. Excellent.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't have to be a constellator. You can be anyone that, you know, even one-on-one clients, you know, like just finding a rapport with that person. When you're in rapport with something, energy expands and things move, you know. And it's not like we have to do anything, you know. It's more of like a way of being, you know. So.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, well, that's really cool. Well, before you go, I might have to put you on the spot, because a lot of people ask us, how do you describe constellations to a stranger? And Can I get your take on that for the last few minutes here?
Yeah, okay. So if I have someone who calls me and they say, I see you do this constellation work, you know, what is it? And I used to say it had nothing to do with astrology. And now I say it has everything to do with astrology, in the sense of constellations in the sky, you know, placement, groups, proximity, relationship, you know. I also add in the ancestral element of that we might be able to go behind us into the ancestry to see what we might be entangled in. That's affecting us now in not such a good way, you know, where we can clear that in a very simple way that's very effective. And obviously it's not conscious, you know, but through doing this constellation work, we can get clarity, we can get insight, we can get changes happen, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I also say, you know, you can do constellations pretty much around anything. And I also, you know, I tell people it's not, it's sacred work. It's not like party tricks or things you would do like lightly, you know. So it's held in a good way, and it's powerful, and be prepared for things to change. If you want to constellate.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sara. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing, oh, yes?
Can I just say one thing? I do mention Bert Hellinger, and I do mention him as bringing this work forward. And I also mentioned my teacher, Francesca Mason-Boring, as well. So
hey, I've been trying to get a hold of Francesca for these work talks. Put in a good word for me, will ya? She hasn't answered my emails.
Yeah, she's very busy. And I don't think Francesca checks her emails too often. So you might need to call her.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time today, Sara, and I look forward to seeing you again at the conference. So Sara's talk is Friday, November 13th, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Skills to Navigate Constellations in Full Awareness. That sounds fabulous. Well, I look forward to seeing you, Sara.
All right, Linda, thanks so much. All right, good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.